Hello. Welcome to Let's Speak English YouTube channel. Today, we are going to learn more about gerund and infinitive. Let's start our lesson. So, what is a gerund? And what is an infinitive? A gerund is a verb plus ing. For example, stealing. Let's put the gerund in a sentence. The thief admitted stealing the money from the old lady. What about an infinitive? Infinitive is to plus verb. For example, to play. Let's put the infinitive in a sentence. John decided to play football with the local team. But when do we use gerund? We use gerund after some certain verbs, prepositions and some expressions. Let's look at these examples. The first example. I miss talking to my mom on the phone. It's been a long time. We can see here that the gerund is talking. Verb plus ing. But what do we have before the gerund? Before the gerund, we have the verb miss. So, we can say that with the verb miss we always use gerund. Let's look at the second sentence. I'm interested in learning more about the Chinese culture. We can see here that the gerund is learning. But what do we have before learning? Before the gerund we have a preposition. The preposition is in. So, we use gerund after prepositions. Let's look at the last sentence. I can't help listening to classical music. It's boring. If we look closely to this sentence, we can see that the gerund is listening. And that we have the expression can't help before the gerund. So, we use gerund with some certain expressions. When do we use infinitive? We use infinitive after some certain verbs and adjectives. Let's look at these sentences and see when do we use infinitive. Let's go to the first sentence. They decided to build a new school in our village. Where is the infinitive in this sentence? The infinitive is to build. What do we have before the infinitive? Before the infinitive we have the verb decided. So, with the verb decide, we use infinitive. Let's read the second sentence. I promise to call you back as soon as I get home. If we look at this sentence, we can see that the gerund is to call. And before the gerund, we have the verb promise. So we can say that we use gerund with the verb promise. Let's look at the last sentence. It's easy to say, but it's difficult to do. If we look at this sentence we can see two infinitives which are to say and to do. And before these infinitives, we have two adjectives, easy and difficult. What are the verbs followed by gerund? With these verbs, we always use gerund only. Admit, deny, appreciate, avoid, consider, discuss, enjoy, finish, forgive, imagine, miss, practice, permit, allow, forbid, advice. We also use gerund after prepositions. For example, in, of, to, on, like, at, about, for, after, etc. We also use gerund after some expressions. For example, can't help, can't bear, be worth, would you mind, can't imagine. What are the verbs followed by infinitive? With these verbs we always use infinitive only. Want, decide, promise, agree, pretend, hope, etc. We also use infinitive after adjectives. For example, what, how, easy, difficult, hard, good, bad, important, necessary, impossible, right, wrong, wise, happy, sad, proud, ready, rude, impolite, etc. However, we can use gerund and infinitive after some verbs. For example, try, bother, stop, continue, suggest, intend, hate, forget, remember, like, love, afford, begin. Let's look at these examples to understand more. Let's go to the first sentence. I suggest using the computer. In this sentence, we have the gerund, which is using, and before it, we have the verb suggest. Let's look at the second sentence. I suggest to use the laptop. In this sentence, we have the infinitive which is to use, and before it, we have the verb suggest. So, with the verb suggest we can use gerund and infinitive, and they are both correct. One more rule to distinguish between the use of gerund and infinitive. Gerund is used for things that have already happened. For example, he began playing chess last year. In this sentence, the action was in simple past, and we also have the expression last year which indicate the past. Infinitive is used for things can or still happen. For example, he will begin to play chess next week. In this sentence, we have the infinitive to play and, before it, we have the verb will begin, which indicate the future simple, and we also have the expression next week, which also indicate the future. Let's answer an exercise together. In this exercise you have 6 sentences. What are you going to do? You are going to read each sentence and choose the correct answer from the ones in the black color. You can pause the video and take your time to answer. When you finish, you can play the video so we can correct the exercise. Have you finished? Great job! Let's correct the exercise now. Let's read the first sentence. My daughter is fond of collecting foreign stamps. The correct answer here is collecting, because we have a preposition of. Let's go to the second sentence. We totally enjoyed watching all those great movies last week. The correct answer here is watching, because we have the verb enjoy before it. Let's go to the third sentence. He tried rescuing her to rescue her, but failed. In this sentence both the answers are correct, because we have the verb try, With this verb we can use gerund and infinitive, but remember to use one of them, not both of them. Let's go to the fourth sentence. Hope to see you again soon. In this sentence the correct answer is to see, because we have the verb hope. The fifth sentence. I find it impossible to please everyone. The correct answer here is to please, because we have the adjective impossible. The last sentence. I apologized for coming late to class. So the correct answer here is coming, because we have a preposition. I hope that you enjoyed the lesson. Thank you for watching the video. If you have any question, please do not hesitate to ask. Write it down in a comment. Do not forget to subscribe and activate the notification bell. See you in the next video. Have a great time. Bye.